Okay, be honest with me. Are you still juggling like 5 different super expensive AI subscriptions just to finish a single piece of content? You know the drill, paying for all these disjointed tools that don't even talk to each other. If that sounds like you, trust me, you're definitely not alone. It is incredibly frustrating. But what if I told you that Google just quietly killed basically every AI generation tool on the market, and most creators literally have no idea it even happened yet? Welcome back to the Deep Dive Classroom, everyone. I'm your host, and today we're breaking down a complete zero-to-viral workflow in this explainer. We're going to show you how to run a professional, faceless channel without paying for a single third-party tool. So deep divers, grab your notes, get comfortable, because this is an absolute game changer. Seriously, just think about the sheer contrast here. We're finally moving away from that old way of doing things. You know, that expensive, disjointed mess of separate subscriptions for scripting, then voiceovers, then image generation, then editing. It was a nightmare. Now, we're stepping right into the new Google Vids workflow. Google absolutely changed the game here by packing their most powerful AI models into one single workspace. It's a unified all-in-one solution. Just like that, the whole headache of bouncing files between 5 different websites, totally gone.
Now, before we really get into the nitty-gritty mechanics of how this works, we need to have some real talk about a pretty massive controversy. Look, there are folks out there saying that faceless AI channels aren't quote-unquote real content creation. They act like it takes absolutely zero effort. Well, I completely disagree with that. This whole myth that AI just magically does all the work for you from start to finish, it's entirely false. Make no mistake, every single global hit still starts with a human concept.
Which actually brings me to a question I'd love for you to reflect on right now. Seriously, where do you stand on this? Is AI prompting a valid form of directing and creativity? I really want you to chew on that as we go through today's lesson. Do you agree, disagree? Drop your thoughts down in the comments, because wow, this is always such a heated debate. But as we'll see today, stepping into the role of an AI creator means you are essentially a digital director. You are the one calling the shots.
All right, so here is our roadmap for today's masterclass. We're going to move chronologically through 4 essential steps: architecting the story, building a consistent avatar, generating the video scenes, and finally, adding that professional polish. Let's just dive straight into phase 1. Number 1, architecting the story.
Okay, so this is exactly where you put on your director's hat. You see, you aren't just sitting there typing basic prompts. You are architecting a narrative from the ground up using what we call cinematic blueprinting. We use ChatGPT to architect our script, but catch the distinction here. We aren't just asking it for a boring plain block of text. No way. We're asking for a full-blown cinematic storyboard broken down scene by scene. Think about it like building a house, right? You wouldn't just walk up to a contractor and say, "Hey, build me a house." You'd hand them a detailed blueprint showing exactly where every single room, door, and window needs to go. That's exactly what we're doing here. So for example, let's say we want to create a narrative about a character named Sarah, who's a digital nomad exploring this crazy, high-tech, futuristic city. By defining her exact environment and feeding the AI very specific dialogue, we force it to stop acting robotic and actually start being creative.
So, let's break down the exact steps for your initial prompt. Step 1, define your character. Step 2, establish the environment. And step 3, write specific dialogue. You just ask ChatGPT for the full story, scene by scene, in one single go. And remember, deep divers, this prompt is just your baseline blueprint. You can adapt these details for literally any niche. Whether your channel is about personal finance, fitness, or ancient history, you just swap out the character and the setting to fit your specific vibe. Simple as that.
Moving right along to step 2, building a consistent avatar.
Now, we absolutely have to talk about this because it is hands down the biggest pain point in the entire AI space right now. Read this loud and clear. Consistency is the #1 killer of AI channels. Think about it for a second. Have you ever watched an AI clip where the main character's face just sort of randomly morphs and changes shape in every single shot? It is so distracting, right? It completely breaks the immersion and shatters the viewer's trust. So to fix this, we absolutely must generate a highly detailed visual profile first, way before we ever try to generate a single frame of motion. Okay, so the big question is, how exactly do we build that profile? Well, we use ChatGPT to generate our image prompt based on highly specific traits. For our example, we tell the AI we want Sarah. She's in her mid-20s, she's a tech enthusiast with this professional yet casual vibe, and we want it shot in a crisp 4K urban cinematic style. Got it? Okay, once you have that prompt dialed in, you log right into Google Vids. In your dashboard, just click on the Image tab, set your aspect ratio, paste that prompt and let it work its magic. But wait, here is the massive pro tip. Do not just settle for the very first result it spits out. Use the built-in Refine tool to generate 3 or 4 different angles of that exact same character. By feeding Google Vids multiple reference photos, you're essentially teaching the AI exactly what Sarah looks like from every possible side.
All right, step 3, generating the video scenes.
Now we're talking. This is where the magic really happens. And the coolest part, it's all built directly into the Google Workspace sidebar. It's not just some basic run-of-the-mill generator. It is a full prompt-to-production engine. So how do we get our video prompts? Well, we just ask ChatGPT to break our story down into scenes and hand us prompts complete with the dialogue. Then you hop back over to Google Vids and paste your first prompt right into the box. Now listen closely, deep divers, because this right here is the absolute secret sauce. You're going to see an option labeled Avatar, which is usually for stories that don't have a specific subject yet. Ignore it. Skip right past it. Instead, you want to select the Ingredients option. Think of it like baking a cake, okay? If you want a chocolate cake, you've got to put chocolate into the mixing bowl. By uploading those character reference images of Sarah as our quote-unquote ingredients, you are quite literally forcing the video engine to bake her exact face into every single action clip. Just like that, no more random morphing people in your shots. You have a 100% consistent AI actor. And when the clips finish rendering, you just drag them right onto your timeline.
And finally, step 4, professional polish.
Okay, so we've got our consistent scenes lined up, but we are definitely not done yet. We need to make sure this whole thing doesn't just end up looking like some clunky PowerPoint presentation. Let's rapid fire some absolutely essential editing tips. First up, pacing. Bad pacing will kill your attention. Use the push or dissolve transitions. This mimics the smooth movement of a professional gimbal camera. It hides any weird AI jump cuts and makes everything look like it was shot by a real, live crew. Next, click on voiceover and choose a tone that appeals to a global audience, something like a confident explainer or a gritty documentary voice. The clarity on these is world-class, meaning you don't even need to mess with external dubbing tools anymore. For the audio, just describe your vibe to the AI music generator. You can type in something like lo-fi corporate tech or cinematic urban, and it'll compose a royalty-free track perfectly timed to your footage. Last but not least, let's talk engagement. Click on captions, select a really bold, high-contrast font to cover up any gaps, and definitely make use of the built-in stock library on the sidebar for high-res B-roll. And you can do all of this, the whole shebang, without ever leaving Google Docs.
But honestly, here is the absolute best part of this entire workflow. What does this high-end, all-in-one production studio actually cost you? $0. Yep, you heard that right. Google Vids has effectively lowered the barrier to entry for professional-level production all the way down to nothing.
But hold on, because there is a very crucial catch you need to be aware of right now. Google Vids is officially a Google Workspace tool. This incredible generation feature is currently being offered to free users, but only for a limited promotional window. If you sit on this and try to test it out months from now, there's a good chance it's going to ask you for a paid upgrade. That just means the free window is closed. So the urgency here is very, very real. You really need to jump in and leverage this tool immediately while it costs you absolutely nothing.
Let's quickly summarize the biggest takeaways from today's Classroom Explainer. First, go ahead and cancel those disjointed, expensive paid subscriptions. Second, always treat AI prompting as real creative directing. Remember, you are architecting a cinematic blueprint. Third, rely on that Ingredients tool in Google Vids to solve the dreaded character and consistency problem once and for all. And lastly, start building out your ideas right now, today, before this free window slams shut and the space gets incredibly crowded. Look, the era of complicated, expensive editing is officially over if you act fast. Oh, and a super quick note on monetization. I know a lot of you wonder about this. If you want the exact policy on monetizing AI channels, just drop a comment saying monetize, and I'll make sure the official guidelines get pinned right at the top for you.
So, deep divers, I want to leave you with this final thought. What story are you going to direct before that free window closes? The AI is ready, the tools are free, and now you have the exact workflow. Don't sit around waiting for the perfect moment because the time is right now. Make sure to check the links in the description for the specific high-density prompt packs we talked about today, as well as our affiliate links. And hey, don't forget to swing by our Fourth Wall merchandise shop to grab some awesome classroom gear. Please drop a like, hit subscribe, and definitely share your upcoming content ideas down in the comments. Keep learning, keep directing, and I will see you in the next deep dive.